Morning Year 6 and welcome to Thursday's maths video. Today we're going to keep looking at constructing pie charts. You've done very well so far. We have looked at if it's 100% and each piece of data represents 1%, how many percentages would be taken up in our pie chart. But we've also looked at how, if you've been given a set of data, how you work out how many each piece of data is worth in degrees, and you've converted it. We're going to try and put that all together now and start looking at actually how to create a pie chart. But first of all, I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at your Fluent in 5. Okay, so we've got the missing number was 1,300, then we had 14, 7.8, 55,926, and then 312 remainder 1, or 312 and 1/11. Well done if you got those right. So let's look, and I'm going to use the same data that we had in one of the videos previously at how to then convert that into a pie chart. So we worked out our degrees. We did that by knowing that our total was 36 votes, our total degrees were 360. We did 360 divided by 36 to work out what each individual vote was worth in degrees, and we worked out that each segment of the pie chart, one piece of data, one vote was worth 10 degrees. We then knew that for 4 hamster votes times our 10 degrees, we had 40 degrees for hamsters, etc. So then, if we've got a pie chart, we need to work out how we would do that, how we would put that data onto our pie chart. So the first thing to do is to find the centre of your circle and make a line down from 0 to the centre, a little bit like you're drawing the radius on your pie chart, because this will be our starting line for measuring our degrees. You then lay your protractor to measure your first angle. So a protractor. On your protractor, you've got half a circle. So around the outside, you've got a full 180 degrees. If you had 2 protractors and you put them side by side, you'd have 180, 180, so in total 360. But protractors are only a half circle, so they have 180 degrees. Now you'll notice as well that you've then got a bigger number, 90 degrees marked, because that is halfway between 180. You've got a little bit here where your 0 line meets the 90 degree line. Now this is the most important part of a protractor. You line this centre point of your protractor up with the end point of your angle, and that allows you to measure the degrees of the angle. So if I want to mark on 40 degrees, I make sure that my centre point of my protractor is in the centre of my circle, and that my original line I drew is going along the 0 line. I then look at the outside and I see that that's 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees. So I draw my line along the 40 degree line. And if you look carefully, you can see that for each 10 degrees there is a line marked 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and that shows you where you would draw your line. Now you can do that by marking a dot and then drawing a ruler line, or you can use the edge of your protractor, which can double up as a straight line ruler. So that angle there is 40 degrees, because if you line your starting line up with your 0, then the other side of your angle is along the 40 degree line. Now your next one to put on is 100 degrees. Now what you don't do is start on this line, because this segment here shows hamsters. If you leave your protractor here and mark on 100 and you draw your line for 100, you're not actually showing 100 degrees, you're showing 60, because 40 degrees has already been used by hamsters. So who can think about what we do to our protractor after we've drawn our first segment? So what do we do to it? We move it. We now have a new 0 line. So we go to the end of our 40 degree line and we place our protractor there. We then know that that is our 0, 10, 20, 30, and we count round until we get to 100. And then we draw our new line at 100 degrees. So we've got 40 degrees here and 100 degrees there. We first measure from this line that we've just drawn so that we move the protractor onto the 40-degree line and measure the next 100 degrees from there. How would we do the next one? The next one is 70 degrees for a budgie. How would we do that? So hopefully you've said, we move the protractor so that it lays along the line we've just made for 100 degrees. Because now we're at 0 and we count around 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Then we draw our new line. So this segment represents 40 degrees, this segment represents 100, and this segment represents 70. Remember to move it every time you draw your new angle. And again, it comes to 70. 120. We move our protractor. So we are on our 0 line again, on our last line we drew. And then we measure 120 degrees around the outside until we get to here, because it says 120 there. We draw our new line, and this angle here represents 120 degrees. Now we've actually only got one left, 30 degrees. So because we know that all of our angles add up to 360, and we've done our 40, we've done our 100, we've done our 70, and we've done our 120, if we were to add all of those together, the amount left we would have is 30 degrees more. So this angle here has already been drawn for us by drawing all of the others. Now let's just check though that it is 30 degrees. So we put our protractor on the line we've just drawn, and look, 10, 20, 30. So our remaining angle was 30 degrees, sorry. So the key things to remember: once you have worked out how much each vote or unit is worth in degrees, you multiply that by how many votes or units you had. That gives you your degrees. You then make your line at 0, down to the middle. That is your starting line. You measure 40 degrees from there and draw on your segment. You then move your protractor and mark on the next 100 degrees. Move your protractor and mark on the next 70, sorry. So, here, Year 6 children were asked which sport they liked best. The table shows the results. Complete the table to show the number of degrees in each sector of the pie chart. So again, your total is quite nice because it's 36. So think about what you need to do with your 360 degrees in total and your 36 as your total number of children, your total number of units. Now, it has actually already been written up there, but see if you can work out how many each child is worth in degrees, and then work out your degrees for each sport. So complete your table. Work out 360 divided by 36 to give you one child, and then work out how to represent each sport. When you've done that, put it onto your pie chart. So the centre line's been done for you. So you'd need to lay your protractor so that the middle of the protractor lines up with the middle of your circle, and then measure the amount of degrees you get for your first number. And if you look, it's actually been done for you. So you've got 70 degrees, so you lay your protractor along the 0 line and measure 70 degrees around the outside. Draw your line on, put your protractor along the line for 0 and measure the next one. Have a go. If you've printed it off and you've got a protractor at home, fantastic. If not, then there are online protractors you can use. You can upload this image to one browser and it will allow you to move the protractor on top of it, or you can download a protractor like an app and use it. Good luck, and I will go through the answers in a minute. So hopefully, even if you didn't have any way of using a protractor, hopefully you still worked out the rest of the table. So hopefully you worked out that each child was worth 10 degrees. So netball, there were 8 children, so the number of degrees is 80 degrees. Football, 120 degrees. Hockey, 50 degrees. And rugby, 40 degrees. If you then had a protractor, hopefully you drew a pie chart that looks something like this. See you tomorrow.